It doesn't work. We are live
We're
and the
live.
video is
Yeah,
starting.
playing.
Typical me. Well, we edited in. Good evening and welcome with Things Paranormal Talks. Tonight we have Michael Castro as our guest. And Michael does a lot. But first of all, let him introduce himself to our listeners on Spotify and the other platforms.
All right. My name's Mike Castro. I'm the owner of a company called Danger Designs. I am also co-founder of Ghosted Magazine with my absolutely wonderful partner, April Bissett, who is the actual founder, the creator. She's the visionary behind it. I just do the graphics and stuff for that. But I also run a company called Convention Creative, where I help conventions and festivals and any kind of large format events with graphics and any kind of visuals that they need to promote that stuff. But I'm based out of New Jersey, United States, and yeah, that's that's me in a nutshell.
You forgot Bacon TV, I think.
Oh well, yeah, and I've also Beacon TV, Beacon TV. I help them with some of their graphics and their thumbnails and stuff. But I am was a creative director for them. They're up and going now, so they don't really have much need for me as much as they did in the beginning. But I'm still very very close to them, and they're amazing people to work with, and I loved watching it grow from this idea to bringing it to life, and that's really my forte. I take an idea and I bring it to life. That's what I do.
Yeah, so you're very creative.
I'm a very creative person. There's a double-edged sword with that because when you're creative, you you see things from different angles, but it also means your brain's going like 300 miles an hour. So you're just paying attention to like everything.
Yeah,
Yeah. So my imagination is pretty crazy.
that's so cool. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And you're also a photographer. Oh, I almost messed up
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, so I'm actually like, I'm a photographer, but I'm not. It's so weird because I take good pictures. I know I take good pictures, but I don't consider myself a professional photographer.
Yeah,
I do a lot of photography. I'm actually taking classes for photography so I can learn, like, 'cause, on a camera, on a good camera, there's like 1,000 buttons and settings and, ISO and all this other stuff. And just kind of learning the little intricacies of that is
yeah,
pretty intense with lighting and all sorts of stuff. But that also helps a lot of my creative side because I'm actually able to go to, say, a location that hires me to help them like design a flyer for an event. I actually go to this place and I'll take my own photos of these locations, or I use other photos from other photographers that I know. They'll let me use some of their content.
yeah,
Um, but so my brain just operates differently when I can have a blank palette and I'm able to just create.
yeah. You're also a paranormal investigator.
I am
Yes.
probably the worst paranormal investigator to
Why?
have come
Why?
along because I am a open-minded skeptic. I believe that they're in the possibility of ghosts, and I believe in the possibility of a life after death or something after death. But I have not. I mean, I've seen and witnessed some things that I can't explain. That is absolutely true. Things have happened that I can't explain.
Yeah.
What I would say 99% of the time I can explain it away. And that's probably why nobody likes going ghost hunting with me because I'm like, no, 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 no. Right. It's just, I tend to, and my friend, who, I mean, he used to go like everywhere with me. He said I ruined the paranormal for him. Yeah, he said I ruined the shows. I ruined like the whole experience for him because when he first started out, as all of us did,
Yeah.
every knock and orb and dust and like breathing on an EVP or a REM pod beep, anything like that. Oh, ghost. Um, But no, I think I have ruined that for him. I've ruined that for many people, and I apologize for that. But I'm looking for that piece, just like everybody else is. But I'm just going to be a little bit harder to convince, I think.
Maybe you should go with Mike Del Coro and Eric Van
I
der Laan.
with his glasses and the
Yeah.
Delco glasses. Yeah, I've heard a lot. He's actually got these new ones that actually like I guess
Oh,
zap you. They're like they got like it's weird. It's like they electrocute you, but it's supposed to
oh, yeah.
stimulate like your
Yes.
neuro. Yeah, at the same time, I'm not particularly hyped to try that, but I will. Um, yeah, I mean, we'll see.
The
We'll
actually,
see. I'm gonna be with them in May. Well, actually, yeah, in May, I'm gonna be around them for I believe it's either White Hill Paracon or Booze on the Battleship in North Carolina.
yeah.
So one of those two, I'm gonna see them at, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I always have a good time with those guys.
Make sure you're taping the part you're trying out the Delco method. I really
Yeah, well, I'm
want
sure
to
they
see
will. I'm sure they will. I'm sure they'll absolutely take it. But I'm a big wuss, man. Like I'll run. I have no problem with that. I'll run. If something like comes out and I'll run for sure. I don't care. So
it.
yeah, I have no problem with it.
Oh my
But
God.
yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. Thankfully, I have been blessed. I've been able to go to a lot of really cool, interesting locations with a ton of history. I love the history. I love the backstory. I think for April and we both like the places with the bloodiest histories. You know that for us, it's like the most interesting stuff. For a while we were only going to like really historical places, which have a charm of their own. I love the history of locations like Gettysburg has a ton of history. Um, but that can be because we have for us we want to make sure that we're covering all of our bases and we can't be too deep into history, but we love like the action packed stuff. And
Yeah.
she's a psychic medium, and she's the first psychic medium I've ever worked with,
Oh,
right? And she's the only one, honestly, that I've ever worked with. And she is it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary how accurate she
yeah.
is at
Yes.
times.
Yeah.
Very scary. Yeah, I have to like put a disclaimer every time I'm hanging out with her. I'm like, don't read me. If she'll be talking to me, I'm like, stop reading me while you're talking to me.
She just can't help herself.
She can't help it. She can't
Yeah,
help it.
we
Great.
had her on our podcast, and she was
Okay.
referring to a woman in a flower dress. And I really thought, oh my God, now
Oh
the
wow.
podcast. My grandma wore them, and they looked like curtains. And she was spot on. She's talking
Yeah.
about curtains and dresses and flowers. So I knew
Yeah.
exactly who she was talking about. And it just was an online event. So imagine
Yeah.
if you see her face to face.
Uh huh. Yeah. Well, she's like, so she's kind of now moving into this space, I believe, where she's like doing galleries and stuff, which is super intense. And just watching her in front of a lot of people doing her thing it's really cool to watch and be a part of. Even if like you don't get picked, right? She's not picking up on you. I mean, just watching that is really awesome. I remember one is a real quick, funny story. I was in Massachusetts with her at an event, and that night they were doing like these investigations between two locations, and we went to one location, and Patty Negri was there also, and we were in the basement of this house, and I was taking photos of Patty, and I was taking photos of her, and they both like got up, and it's a dark basement. There's no lights in this basement. They both got up and they both turned to me and they just started machine gun reading me. Like boom, boom. I'm like, oh, there was no escape for me. Like, I'm seeing this, oh, I'm feeling this, and I'm like, stop, time out, Kentucky. If anybody knows me, that's my safe word. So if you're around me and you hear me yell Kentucky, you need to get me out of that situation as soon as possible. I'm trying to leave. But yeah, it was really cool, man. And Patty's super nice as well. You know, she's really, really pleasant to work with. Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to, meet a lot of people in the paranormal and, in the community. They're just awesome, great people, no complaints, just really good, positive. That's what I like to surround myself with now. Before, when I entered the paranormal, I wasn't so positive, but now I'm like a little bit more chill. And I just like that. Just don't bring anything, just all happy, all the happy stuff.
Yeah, I saw the inspirational quotes and I love them. And
yeah, right. So moving into that space creatively for me on a content level has been really good for me. Not necessarily, I'm glad it's helping other people or other people are seeing it and feeling good about it. But for me, it's been a really, really good for my mental health anyway.
yeah, it's always good for mental health. And even though you make one person smile, um, it's a perfect goal. Helping one
Absolutely.
person at a time. And yeah, if you help yourself with it as well, yeah, what more do
Yeah,
you
no,
want?
I think it's great, and I've been able to, become that person that, a lot of my friends who can just pick up the phone and call me and just, even if they just want to rant, I just listen to them rant and they'll get it off their chest,
Yeah,
That's been a lot of fun.
absolutely, absolutely. And I can think or imagine you've been to many locations.
Hmm.
Um, was there any location which made a positive influence on you and think, I might go there back again just to investigate and see if there are ghosts? And I can't debunk it.
Um, I can answer this in an unbiased way, and I can also answer this in a biased way. I do, every location that I go to, I try to give it just an absolute good college try and, really give it that. Um, I think that some places that I've been to and haven't really experienced what other people have, and anybody that's been in this industry, we know that not every time you go to investigate somewhere, you're going to catch something.
Yeah.
Not right. Sometimes it's not like what you see on TV. You can spend hours, and you could have 5 cameras. You spend 8 hours in a location with 5 cameras. That is now 40 hours of evidence that you have to go through. That's a lot of time to spend on. That's a whole work week for some people. Full-time job to do that, and then you start it over and do it again. And that's just video. Now we're not even talking about audio, right? So it becomes a nightmare. I know, trying to go through all that, but I think some location owners, some of them get a little protective when they feel like you didn't have the same kind of experience that them and maybe many others have had, so they get defensive at the same time. I will say that every location that I've never walked out of a location saying bullshit. I've never done that.
Okay.
Right? I've never done that. But I have been to many locations where I'm like, just a little bit more. I think if we just spend more time there, there's potential because they are scary, right? I mean, mentally, you're like, you know,
Yeah.
in a dark hospital with a long hallway,
Yeah.
um, Harriman Hospital, for instance, right? And it's either in Tennessee or Kentucky, right? Or just long hallway, and your eyes start playing tricks on you with the street lights coming in and the moonlight, and
Yeah.
you think you saw something. And I would love to spend more time in a place like that, or OSPH, in Tennessee or Kentucky. I forget which state that's in, but those places are really scary to be in. I've been in Pennhurst. Honestly, I think the history of Pennhurst is very fascinating, and I think it's a shame what's happening to it. But
Yeah.
um, I've never really felt creeped out by Pennhurst on a paranormal level.
Okay. So
Um,
you haven't
yeah,
fled.
no, I haven't. Or the Gettysburg Orphanage, right? I've sat in the hole or not hole, it's like a hole in the wall where, Rosa Carmichael used to put these kids in there. And I've, sat next to where she used to chain these kids up. And the place has amazing history. And I have heard some things down there that I can't explain. And I have, never seen anything, but I have, there's some things there that I can't explain. The Farnsworth right down the street in Gettysburg, same thing, super creepy. But you just never know when something's going to happen. I've heard footsteps walking around my bed at the Cashtown Inn right outside of Gettysburg,
Cool.
and get up and nothing. You
Yeah.
know, I've been to many locations that are just very intense, very historical, and then I walk away with a piece from all of them, either their story or an experience. And I'd love to spend more time in there, but there's so many places. There's so many places to go to, and I still have a ton on my bucket list that I want to go to. You know, so
Well, talking about bucket list, just throw out
uh
a few.
huh. Yeah, I want to do the Hill House in Texas. I want to do
Yeah.
that. I've heard great things about that. I definitely want to do Dracula's Castle in Romania. I would
Yeah.
love to do that. The catacombs in Paris. I would love to do that. Part of me loves the urban explorer part of, finding locations and being in these places that haven't been touched in years. I love doing that. There's places in the Pine Barrens I want to go to in New Jersey that I haven't been able to go to. So on a bunch of different levels, and going to some of these locations, if you have a bucket list, you have to try, especially in the United States, you have to try to hit them because there's this massive movement to build data centers. Gentrification is huge. They're tearing down tons of buildings and putting up, high rises and condos. Um, so if you have a place you want to go to that's in a city or even in like the woods, then you need to try to get to it soon before all these things go away forever. But yeah, I have many. Look, I want to go to Colorado. I want to go to the Stanley Hotel. I want to hit up some of the mines out there. Tombstone, I'd love to go to. Many locations. I
Okay.
really want to get into the Cecil Hotel.
I've seen some documentary and
Yeah,
it's, yeah, one on my bucket list as well.
yeah, definitely,
Yeah. I'm
definitely.
probably running next to you out.
Yeah, maybe,
So,
maybe. I hear we'll probably be, chased by not a ghost, but probably someone that's living there that's not supposed to be. you know, yeah. But yeah, ton of history, and yeah, just I can't wait. I can't
yeah.
wait to get out there and do that for
And
sure.
you're interested in the more bloody history
Oh yeah,
in the paranormal. Can you give some examples?
yeah. Places, serial killer locations, right? Where tons of
H.H.
people have been,
Holmes.
murdered.
Yeah,
The Velisca house, or Lizzie Borden's house, right? Places where, or even like John Wayne Gacy's house, that would be like tons of people buried underneath that house.
yes,
Um, those are like, if when I first got into the paranormal way, way, way back in the day, a lot of it had to do with, the energy was because, something traumatic happened. And that's really kind of like, that kind of trauma that takes place in a location. I still, I believe in like a lot of that, like that energy can like hold on to that area.
yeah.
Um, I do believe in stuff like that. But uh, I haven't found it yet, and I'm really interested in that. You
Oh,
know, uh, true crime meets paranormal. Combo is really interesting to me.
it is interesting. Imagine going to the hotel of H.H. Holmes or
Oh, absolutely.
or at
Yeah.
Gein's property.
Uh huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely. Definitely.
yeah,
Even roaming the streets from Jack the Ripper, right?
exactly. I
Yeah,
want
those
to
are
go
all
to
like,
London for so many years. And
yeah,
because of Jack the Ripper.
yeah. I think it's definitely um, it's definitely piques your interest and puts your brain also in this like fight or flight mode.
Yeah.
Um, and putting yourself in that situation and potentially maybe possibly feeling what, if nothing's changed in the location, the same kind of mindset, and hopefully maybe to, tap into that energy of someone's about to handcuff me to a container, like this is,
Oh,
uh, stuff like that, yeah, that stuff's wild, man. But yeah, no, I definitely like that aspect of it. And if anybody ever decides to do like a true crime meets paranormal show, I'd be all over that. I'd watch that. I'd watch the heck out of that for sure. And I'm pretty sure it's been done, but I'm not saying it hasn't been done yet. But I would definitely I like that stuff.
yeah. And see if you can tap into the victims and what they were
Yeah.
thinking and how they felt.
Right. Right.
Yeah. And getting some EVPs.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. That would be very interesting.
absolutely. Absolutely. Uh, Calvin is stating Atkins' property must be feeling heavy. I think
Yeah,
so.
probably. And they
Yeah.
just did that Netflix show with that, featuring
Um,
Ed Gein.
Indicator went there with Steve Shippey.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I know that Netflix just did like a show about Ed Gein,
horrible.
and yeah, and so I'm sure that that's probably getting a ton of attention, and of course, you want to respect the property owners of the location that currently own it, and uh, and the neighbors, because it's turning into like this circus of people coming by wanting to take pictures or sneaking on the property, and so you always want to be cognizant of that before you do anything.
Yeah. Oh, Calvin has more nerves than me. I shut it down after the second episode. I
Oh
thought,
yeah,
God, this is too much. You know the
yeah,
story, and I've seen the documentary done by Cindy Keza and Steve Shippey,
hmm,
and you've seen crime pictures, but putting yourself in like a fly flying along during his life, that's the next level. So I
yeah,
shut it up.
yeah.
I won't watch the end.
No,
No, too gruesome, too gore.
yeah, yeah, for sure,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, but it is interesting. And if I had the opportunity to go there to paranormal, investigate the property because the house is burned down, I probably would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Why not? That would be
Yeah,
great.
just don't watch the documentary.
Yeah. Don't watch it first. Right. Maybe watch it after. Yeah. Definitely.
Too much info.
Uh-huh. Yes. Way too much.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, Now you are podcaster as well,
Yes,
kind of.
no. I sorta, I sometimes I go live, sometimes I don't. I like to keep people on their toes. I don't have a schedule
Ah,
of anything. Yeah. Uh, I have Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Absolutely. I'm just reading the comment
yeah,
up top.
that's why I put
Yeah.
it down.
Yeah. Yeah, I have seen that movie. But so back to your question. Um, I will do shows sometimes if I feel like there's something worth talking about. And I mean, I'm going live tonight. We're going over because I'm, working with another company that runs events. So we're going to be talking about some events tonight. Um, yeah, so you can see that on. I posted it on my Facebook. So if
Yeah,
anyone's interested in that, they can tune in and watch that. But some really interesting events coming up in the next few months that we want to highlight. So
together with April or with other.
no, this is actually with a company called Third Eye Event Productions.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. They're so I do like all their graphic designs, and I help with their marketing. So we're pushing these events that are coming out over the next couple months. Just trying to get more eyes on them.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
you've been to a lot of events. I keep
Yes.
close eye to
Yes. Yes.
everything.
I've been to many, many, many events. I love them all. I think they're all great in their own ways.
Yeah,
I think I've worked with multiple event companies, and they're all different and unique in their own ways. And they all deserve their credit. And they're all really ran very well, but they're all different. So I don't think there are any two event companies that I've worked with that are exactly the same
yeah,
in the experience that's offered.
yeah, cool. That's really cool. Oh, now he's commenting in Dutch.
Oh,
Um, he's stating the Texas Chainsaw Massacre has something to do with Ed Gein, and yes, it's based on Ed Gein as well.
oh, really?
Yes, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Silence of the Lambs, and Leatherface. Those
Oh,
three. Yeah, it's a mixture of Ed Gein and the fantasy of the producer and the writer.
interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
But
interesting.
they made up a lot of stuff in the Chainsaw Massacre. But great
Oh,
movies. Great, great
yeah,
movies. Yeah.
yeah.
Silence of the Lambs, I think, was the best for me.
I liked Silence of the Lambs as well. That was
Yeah.
really good. Anthony Hopkins, Hannibal Lecter. Yeah, really
Yeah.
good.
The way
Really
how
good.
he presents it. Oh my God. I
Oh
would be
yeah.
scared if I meet him in person.
Yeah, I think the scariest part of that is that you would never know. If you just met him, you would never know until it was too late.
Yeah.
He's just a smart, intelligent guy, well-rounded, well-dressed, well-groomed, well-read, and
Yeah.
but then he's just this psychopath that is going to eat you.
Your brains together with you.
Yes, yes, yes. So
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Completely forgot to ask how you ended up in the paranormal.
Oh wow. So yeah, this it I before joining a team,
Yeah.
I used to, again, I was really into like the urban explorer part of it. So I'd always, go into these abandoned places. I think part of my time in the military helped, on deployments when we're doing, what's called BDA, battle damage assessment, and being out, after something gets bombed, um, you know, searching the wreckage or breaking in, kicking doors in, doing, raids and stuff like that. So I
Yeah.
think, part of that also, um, got me into into that aspect of it. And then, coming home and just doing my own thing. And then I think in 2022 was when I joined a team locally here, and really got into but I guess I don't play well with others at the time anyway. Because I don't like it's my way or the highway when it comes to investigating or analyzing evidence even, because I come from an intelligence background from the military. So, and I'm creative. We spoke about this earlier. I'm very creative, so my mind thinks in different ways. And so when I'm analyzing evidence, I'm not necessarily, I'm listening to this, but I'm also listening to what other possibilities this could be. And I'm taking into account 1,000 things at once: environmental factors, somebody coughing that day, somebody sick, wind, breeze, climate. I take into everything into account. And, at that point, the team wasn't necessarily, we weren't allowed to do that. If the guy said this is that, then that is that. And I didn't agree with that. So I left. And I just started kind of doing things on my own. And then it turned into me and my friend were out, going out and doing stuff, going to locations, and just kind of doing our own thing. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, I just slowly made my way in, and then next thing
Yeah.
you know, April, comes up with this idea for a magazine, and now she's stuck with me now. She's not getting rid of me.
I don't think she minds.
No, she is really, really cool, man. And she's given me a lot of opportunities, and I couldn't be, I'm very, very thankful for a lot of the opportunities that I have because of her. And you know, uh, she's very spicy Italian woman that is,
Yeah,
will tell you exactly how it is. And,
Italian like
and
this.
I respect it. Yeah, I respect it. I don't argue. You got it.
And she's
That's it.
even very small.
And she's right. So it's like, a tiny package, but man, I'm scared. I don't fuck with her. I'm scared of her. She is very, you know,
Yeah, impressive. And she thinks of all the articles for Get Haunted magazine or Ghosted magazine.
ghosted. Yeah, ghosted. Yes, she is the final say on everything in
Yeah,
that. She is, but she could probably tell you all about the mag. She's like, again, she's the brains.
yeah.
I'm just the designer. Yeah.
Calvin is staked. Don't break the
No, yeah.
spaghetti.
No break of the spaghetti. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
I need to get her back in our podcast. We had her last year, so we had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
She's
will
she's really
message
cool.
her. She has to come back about the ideas of
Yes.
the magazine.
Yes.
And you do the design for
Yes. I
article.
do. I do. I do a lot of the designs. She writes the majority of the articles, and her teroscopes are in there, and they're great, on point teroscopes. I don't like it, when I'm reading the Aquarius ones, how on point they are, but she's good, man. But yeah, she is the um yeah, she is ghosted. So
Yeah,
she's great. She's great.
absolutely, absolutely. It's a doll. You have been in the army, I think, intelligence.
Yes. Yep.
We had Mike Ricksecker, and he was telling us the story about things he noticed during his service, which he
Hmm.
couldn't explain. Do you have experience you can't explain doing your service?
I have one. I have one experience in Iraq, and this was I don't remember if it was Uday or Qusay, that one of Saddam's sons. We had just bombed the hell out of Tikrit, and where this palace ground was in Tikrit, we were doing again just the battle damage assessment, making making sure that we got what we were going for, which we did, and just kind of clearing everything out. Behind that main palace was a cliff, and off to the side was just like this little like a tower sort of behind it, and then behind the cliff was another palace ground where my unit lived in this palace. So we basically took over this compound, and so of course I'm young. I'm like 22, maybe 21, 22 years old, maybe freshly 21. No idea why they gave me a firearm. I'm so young. I'm a baby. I look at my daughter now, she's 20, and I'm like, wow, right? That was the age where I was making these kinds of decisions, and the government was allowing me to make these decisions, and I'm 20, 21, yeah. Right? They gave me a top secret clearance when I was 18. And wow. Yeah, and I'm like, there's no way. I see a lot of these 18-year-olds that would never give these clearances to these kids. But, then it comes to the training and stuff. So anyway, we're on this freshly bombed out palace ground, and the word is that we might have missed some Iraqis, and they might still be in the bushes in the compound. And so it's the night, it's the first night, we've got, you can see tracers flying through the air, you can hear, explosions, and it's a war. We're at war, right?
Yeah.
And so I said, I'm going to go clear that tower up there by that blown up thing. And nobody would go with me. We had an interpreter with us that was like, I guess even before us coming here, that, he was talking about something about like bad spirits or something of that nature. Right. And, so I go up there, and, when you walk in, it's like looking into a lighthouse, and you look up and you can see the stairs going all the way up. And I have this odd fascination too, visually, with staircases. So I love taking pictures of staircases and seeing them from below, with the moonlight coming in and the explosions like kind of like flashing in the windows and stuff coming through on this thing. And I know there's nobody in there because I can't see anything through the graded stairs going all the way up to the top. But as I'm walking up and, clearing this tower, I can hear like breathing. I can hear like footsteps. I can hear things happening. And I get all the way to the top, nobody there. There's no nooks and anything where anybody can go or hide. And that was just an odd experience for me, going through and coming back. The interpreter, asking me, "Well, did you see anything? Did you hear anything?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I heard a lot of things, but I didn't see shit. I didn't see anything in there, but I heard it." And he's like, and he kept saying that, the Iraqi word for like spirits, right? He kept saying that. And he's like, "Oh, no. Oh, no. And he'd go back into his little hut. And I go back in and, just kind of recounting it with the guys, and like, yeah, so nobody would go in there after that. Nobody would go in it. It just stayed empty. And back then, I think privacy was a huge thing, right? Because you're living in like the living room of this palace ground, but there's cots everywhere. So like you have no privacy. You're sleeping next to somebody else. And that was prime real estate. That tower is like prime real estate. You could set your cot up in that tower and be alone, private. Nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted to go up there. Neither did I, though.
Oh.
I wouldn't. Yeah. I'm telling you, you don't believe me. I will run. I'm a runner.
So no
I'm a runner.
Project Fear for you.
No. None of that stuff. None of that stuff. And like, I think in my head, I'm like, I have my rifle with me and I have my sidearm on me. I'm safe. But let's say, for the sake of argument, it's not a person. It is a ghost. That gun ain't gonna help you, right? Like, there's nothing's gonna help you if that thing is. But I don't know if there's any history in the entire paranormal community where a spirit has killed anybody.
Uh, I don't want to scare you, but have you heard about the entity? There was a movie made about it, and this woman was sexually assaulted by a spirit.
I have not heard of that movie. I have not seen it, but I have read about like succubuses and incubuses, right? I have read about that stuff, but I think that, from what I read, that stuff's not attributed to spiritual. That's more of a demon kind of thing, correct?
Yeah.
So
they're categorized within demons.
Yeah, so I don't know if and I don't even like getting into the religious stuff, right? When you get into like the whole demon thing and even the possibilities of that are scary, because if there's even a 1% chance that, and I'm just going to use this for an example, the Annabelle doll. If there's just 1% chance that doll can kill you, stay away from it. If there's just 1%, that's my thoughts on it. Do I believe that there's something going on with that doll? Maybe at one point there could have been. I don't necessarily think now that it's as bad, but taking the precautions that they take with it, I can appreciate that. 1%. 1% chance. Absolutely take all the precautions you can. You have 9 priests in there throwing holy water on that thing, right? But 1%. So, yeah.
So you think the same about Robert the doll?
Yes. If there's 1%, I'm not fucking with it. There's a tale from when I was a kid growing up on Guam. There's a story of a little statue inside a church deep in the jungle. And in order to keep that statue, away from everybody and to capture it, they had to use like a net made of hair, right? Of women's hair to capture the statue. And I guess, like, my uncles and stuff, like my whole family on my Guam side, I think their job is to try to traumatize you as much as possible, right? That's their job, is to traumatize you so that if somebody else tries to traumatize you, it won't be as traumatizing. That's their logic. It's so messed up. Okay. So my uncle was like, used to tell us that statue escaped. That statue escaped, and I was a kid. I was like a kid. I'm like, my creative brain, I'm like, there's this little statue walking around the jungle, so there's stories like that have been going on since, long ago. I think, even with the stories of religion back when people were younger and, back in the days, there's always been that, you better be good, right? You better be good, or.
Oh my God. I didn't realize it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the boogeyman, the kukui, La Llorona here in the United States and Mexico, like all these like urban legends and tales, they all have the same, better be good, don't mess up. Yeah.
I'm really lucky.
Yeah, I'm really interested in like the Bigfoot stuff too. I really want to go Bigfoot hunting. I've never been Bigfoot hunting.
Yeah.
I'd like to do that. I'd like to do like a lot of the cryptid stuff. Especially with all the alien talk now too. That's all
Mhm.
very interesting to me. So I'm trying to, like maybe expand it a little bit, but again, I am the biggest skeptic,
Yeah.
worst person to go on anything with.
Oh, I love
Mm.
it. I'm skeptic
Yeah,
as well. But
yeah.
so I have to ask, do you have ever seen a UFO, UAP?
I have, I have, I have not.
You
I
have not.
have no. I mean, at one point, you know, I have seen things that I thought were UFOs, but back when I was in high school, but turns out it was like a satellite, you
Yeah.
know. And then I remember April sent me this video, and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm outside this restaurant, and there's like a bunch of UFOs." And because where she lives in North Jersey,
Yeah.
has the highest reports of UFOs and UAPs up there. But she sends me this video, and it turns out it was Starlink.
Yeah.
With like
Yep.
20 satellites, and she's like, before the video downloaded to me, she's like, "Oh, it's just Starlink." It was just so exciting, like, "Oh my God, it's there! It's like right in front of you." And
Uh,
yeah,
yeah, we had the same thing over here. All these pictures and videos, and it turned out to be Starlink. Yeah,
right, right.
absolutely hilarious. Um, Kelvin, I like it. To the Bigfoot stories, we don't have Bigfoot here.
What do you guys have in the Netherlands?
Um, what do we have? I don't think we have anything. We have wolves, and we have foxes, and we have deer. And I had previous conversations with American investigators. They asked the same thing. So
Yeah,
I told him, "You Americans stole everything. We don't
we
have a
did.
it."
We
Yeah.
did. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna capture one. We're gonna capture one, and we're just gonna drop it off over there in the Netherlands.
It's a deal. It's a deal. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I can't remember anything about hearing about cryptids. Enough. Yeah, white witches, but it's an urban legend.
Ah.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, like, so what about like trolls and stuff? Is that like the same on the same level as urban legend?
trolls. Yeah, we have garden gnomes, and they claim there were gnomes, and yeah, what they did, I don't even know, but it's just legends because it's,
Gnomes are pretty fucking scary, bro.
yeah, but they're more in Sweden and Denmark,
Oh, okay.
and yeah. Oh, Calvin is preparing for the first Bigfoot. So if you
There you
drop
go.
him, he's
I'll
going
let
to
I'll
save
let
you.
I'll let
Yeah.
Kelvin know.
Yeah, that's why I want to go to England and Ireland and Scotland for the Fae and the Banshee. Very
Mm,
interesting. And
yeah.
they have, I think, something like a hairy ape man as well. So,
Mm.
and Loch Ness Monster. Yes.
I love the idea of the Loch Ness monster. I love it.
Yeah, but there's a lake in America which supposed to have a,
Lake 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 Champlain.
yeah,
Champ. Yes.
yeah, yes.
Yep. Yeah, I would. Uh, I don't know if that's real. To me, Loch Ness is the only Loch Ness. Is the only monster like that. I think that's super cool to me.
Yeah,
But yeah, Lake Champlain. I always wanted to go to. I used to watch those old episodes of Unsolved Mysteries
yeah,
with Robert Stack, and and he used to, when he would do the show, specifically Paranormal or the Bigfoot. Um, I didn't sleep for like days because my brain, again, going 90 million miles an hour. I'm like, there's stuff like that out there, you know, like, and we're okay. We're okay with that. We're just going to, you know, just sit back and eat a bucket of chicken. We're okay. This is happening out there and we're, you know, not going to pay attention to this. Yeah, that bothered me for a bit, knowing that like, and then, you know, it took a while for me to, these are just stories of people
Yeah.
have seen these things. There's no like hard evidence. And then back then when the photos came out, we don't have AI like we do today. We
No.
don't have like computer graphics like we do today. So it was much harder to fake things back then, but you just accepted it because it was also harder to disprove it back then.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
right. So we're looking now at these photos of these grainy photos of the Bigfoot walking or grainy photos of Loch Ness. And now we're able to apply our evolved methods of, you know, reconstructing this image and, you know, debunking it. So we're actually living in a prime time to be a debunker, you know, and analyzing evidence. And, you know, but again, that with that comes a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
Because even if you know that that's wrong as a debunker, even if you know that this evidence is wrong, you also have to be willing to admit when you're wrong about something.
Yeah.
And that time hasn't come yet, I don't think. But you know, in time it will at some point. You know, it's going to be more difficult to fill that position, I think.
Yes, but I think you also have to be respectful because they clearly were convinced they captured anything and it's within their beliefs and their belief
Mm-hmm.
system. So if you're telling them on a civilized way, I think
Mm-hmm.
the acceptance is much more welcomed and much more there than if you say you're fake and this is fake because I can debunk
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Yes, and I think that would be more on the like the social media side of it, right? The YouTube, the Facebook, the Instagram, the TikTok debunking. Because if you're harsher, I think you're more apt to get more attention and more views. And at the end of the day, that's the goal, right? If you're gonna start a social media channel and you are gonna dedicate yourself and the time to do this, um, the end goal, regardless of how you do it, is to get the views, is to get the clicks, is to get monetized, is to get ad revenue. That is the goal. And, you know, I think the algorithm is set that the more confrontational things, like if I'm super nice about saying, hey, you know what, maybe that's wrong, maybe how you captured that is wrong. And that's not going to get as much attention as, oh, they're at it again.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and then it just creates more of a interesting thing. I get it. um uh you know, I do believe that respect across the board is very important.
Yeah.
And you know, I respect what they do, absolutely, but I think my thing about that is that, you know, we don't necessarily need them to do what we need to do as far as gather evidence and stuff. They need us to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
So they can do that all they want. That's completely fine. But you know, you attract more bees with honey than you do with, you know.
With shit.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. But I have to get going. I have to go pick up my
Yes.
son. Yes.
Okay.
But
I
this has
knew.
been so fun.
Yeah. Next
Thank you
time
for
you're
inviting me.
coming back, and I will make sure Shane is it working, and maybe
Okay.
we
Yeah.
can foursome with April at the same time, so we can discuss different topics.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's
Um,
that's the deal. So I
yeah.
want to thank you for your time and coming
Thank you for
on
having me.
in your
Thank you for
busy
having me.
schedule, and have a great day.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye. So let me put me on full screen. No, it doesn't work. No problem at all. So this was Michael Castro, and as you know, we have more podcasts to come. It was supposed to be yesterday, but personal reasons for me, we did another one. And I want to thank everyone in the chat. I want to thank everyone on Spotify who's listening, everyone who's watching our live back, and hope to see you again next week. So for now, have a great evening. Bye bye. Zwaai, zwaai. Let me see if I can get the video. Hopefully, it starts now. So I go out with our video.
Shadows whisper when the lights go dim. Cold breath crawling on my skin. Voices echo from the other side. Is it real or just my mind? Things paranormal talks in the dark. Secrets buried leave a burning mark. We interview the dead, we debate the unknown. Chasing shadows where the seeds are sown.